Yes, karibuni sana. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Good afternoon, Grand Rising, whatever the time is on your end. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is an amazing afternoon right here in the 254. A beautiful weather, can't complain. Ready for the day and, of course, ready for the conversation. But a quick shout out to everyone live with us. For the first time, we are on YouTube. Was held up a little bit with some few things right here, but we are on YouTube and we are on the radio, on the website. For those literally who are not in our Rumble and Bitchute page, ensure you subscribe. But of course, the rest of the shows are always featured there. You can check out the amazing, literally past episodes of all the shows in case you want to learn something about what is happening in Africa, entertainment, and what is happening literally globally. But karibuni sana once again. My name is Joby, and of course, kindly download our app. If you are on YouTube for the first time, subscribe, download our app, check out the amazing supplements we have, the merchandise we have, all coming at a very affordable price on our apparel store. That's where you can get that. And under our Beauty Friend Sports page, that's where you can get the organic supplements. We're talking about vitamins, proteins, amino acids, beauty, hair, nail, skin essential. Like, look at this makeup. It's eaten. Come on. You guys gotta give me credit for my makeup. I feel like I'm really improving personally. I don't know. But anyway, karibuni sana. Today shall be talking about Nigerians who are calling out Obama for funding Boko Haram. And of course, they're really going crazy about this. And this comes a week or 2 weeks later after we saw, of course, after we saw them calling out Shell for them to actually be held accountable for the crimes and how they have destroyed the land, the displacement of the people literally, and how it has been able to affect literally majority of the population of Nigeria. And it's so sad to see that this is a country talking about that is so rich in terms of oil, but literally one amongst the poorest and the largest populated country in Africa, but today suffers majority of the chaos that are funded by these other big elites. But of course, our African leaders playing a big role in it. As we talk about this, we shall be checking literally who are the presidents during this time, because we're talking about when Obama was a president. This is from 2009 to 2017. And during that time, we had, of course, different three presidents who served in Nigeria. And all of them, of course, should be held accountable for what really happened, because they've been receiving the funds of the Usaid. And this goes to all the African puppets, because these funds that they have been receiving, we should actually, when you talk about auditing, we should check how did they use these funds, the USAID funds, and during that time, how these countries were being affected. And then we go back as we follow the money, who was really following so much concerned about the things that were affecting these countries at that time. And of course, you'll find the US, the so-called AU, the EU, the UN, all of them involved in this African purpose. But that's a conversation for the day. Hope you guys are ready. But before we get started, as I come back with the quote of the day, I want to share, of course, one of the amazing supplements we have right here. I love talking about the brain and focus formula, because we're about to dive into literally our brains right here, so you can focus
Unlock
correctly.
your
So
full
listen.
potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Yeah, stand switching the couldn't figure my steez. The man's different, I give Alicia the keys. My ambition gave me the vision to see that this what the fans missing. My competition is weak. I done been in conditions y'all wouldn't go through. Ninjas running out of breath on the stage at the O2. You need some oxygen. Why? Was most do. I'm Saitama, but gas tank is Goku. On the streets, I'm on my own, so I'd rather just hold my peace when on my throne. I'm supposed to eat that mall is home. I'm so discreet, don't call my phone. Listen, they said that money makes the world go round, but once you get your money up, the love goes down. Friends be on the skates, they can't be in the rate. Gotta come into terms with them being a snake. My plan B's my A, I'm an MD in my base. In an industry that's full of envy and they hate, but at least I got some fans who defend me like I'm great. My catalog is of I black two Gen Z's on a date. Woo! Wanted to be a millionaire by 35, but 25 I was on a tear, a steady rise. At 26 I finally did, though many tried. Clowns scared exposed, most rappers is Pennywise. They say that to be your own who disown you. That's why I prefer to be alone in my zone, dude. Taking pictures in my home, that's a wrong move. Niggas chicken if you get it on and
To Calligraph Jones.
bubble up, you're gonna have to double up. Why is that? I said
The new one.
you cuddle up, you soft. And
This is a jam that actually has been going viral. The original version is of Sade, but we have Rema was released, another version of it, and of course we have Calligraph Jones there with the freestyle. But of course, my quote of the day today, before we get started, is the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have it, and that is so true. When you look at Africans, we don't realize the power we have. Especially if we really did drop that tribalism whole thing down and understand the power we really hold in our hands, so we can be able to defeat these puppets who have done so much damage in our continent. But like I said, today shall be talking about the Boko Haram, of course, which we know. Literally, I don't have so much information about the Boko Haram, literally, of course, but we know they are part of this funded Al Qaeda, Al Shabaab's terrorists in the country, in every African country. They are given different names. We have in Haiti right now, they're called the gang. In Nigeria, Kenya right now, they were called the Boko Haram. And of course, we have others who are literally right now being kidnapping these students, raping them, making them pregnant. In Kenya, we have the Al Shabaabs. In the most other western parts of Africa, like Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, they're called the jihadists and all that. It's different names, and I love the way and understanding all this, how they come up with different names and understand it's all them funding this. It's them funding these people and acting all innocent. But I want to start with this video here, coming from TikTok. Before I get to share the main video coming from Lynn Gugi, who of course has a video which is explaining where Nigeria, or rather when Obama was being accused of literally funding Boko Haram through the Usaid, literally, and how the Usaid was being called out for funding these terrorists or these attacks and wars in every African country. It is so crazy, but they've still been doing it despite the evidence. They've still been doing it. So we're gonna see, of course, the effect it's gonna have, because African leaders are really crying right now.
Today in the US Congress that USAID has been directly funding terrorist organizations across the world, like Boko Haram in Nigeria. As in, the US government was directly sending tens of millions of dollars to destabilize the Nigerian state and lead to the death of tens of thousands of Nigerian people for at least a decade now. And from that story,
that's what they're doing in Congo. That's what they're doing in Sudan. Because waking up to this morning, we can see there's actually information, news, and updates about what is happening in Sudan. Attacks, literally, most of the people have lost their lives. Yeah, most of the people have lost their lives. So it is so crazy. We have the UN, which is part of course, of this funding, coming out to talk about how they're so worried about the situations happening in Africa. It's how they play these political tricks on us as African people. But due to lack of education, proper education of how democracy should literally work in our countries, is why we're here. Because we don't have democracy. We're being told and being lied to that we're living in democratic countries, sovereign countries. But if this was really sovereignty, we shouldn't be having leaders who allow this from the word go. And they were leaders who really they've been trying to make Africa better. Again, would see so many assassinations, like the Patrice Lumumba one, like most of the real leaders who tried to stand up for Africa. John Magufuli, the late John Magufuli. So it is so crazy, and we had no idea of all this, because I don't even remember how old was I when I started hearing about Boko Haram. I was so young. It's crazy.
alone we can then deduce that it's very obvious that America orchestrated the collapse of Nigeria. And let me just give you some background to the story, right? So we had from 2010 to 2014 a Nigerian government that was essentially ensuring Nigeria's economic growth. I'm not going to say that this government was amazing. They were not. They had corruption. There were problems. But at the end of the day, Nigeria's economy was growing massively. I'm saying like 8%, 10% economic growth year on year. Nigeria was actually on track to become a $1 trillion economy by this year, by 2025. And beyond that, they were also on track to become a superpower nation. They were actively expanding their influence across the African continent and across the world. Nigeria was in an amazing position. But obviously, this goes against American interests. America cannot have a powerful African nation challenging their interest in the region. So what do? They funded Boko Haram. And from that's where the collapse of Nigeria started. Because Boko Haram was a massive problem. They were bombing Abuja. They claimed a territory the size of Belgium in Nigeria. They were destabilizing the country fully.
But we need to understand, I think, if I am to go back to history correctly, and anyone can correct me because I didn't have so much time to do much more of this research, but I do believe still even before then, before Boko Haram literally, and of course Obama being president then, that was in 2009 to 2017. And like I said, during this period of Obama being president and funding Boko Haram through the Usaid in Nigeria, we had other three serving presidents. Three in those in that span of those years, we had three presidents in Nigeria. That is Omaru Musa Yadua, that is his name, who served from 2009 to 20. Let me see that to 2007. No, to 2010. Sorry, let me get that correctly. Kindly. Yeah, he served from 2009. No, from 2007 actually to 2010. Okay, when Obama was becoming president. And then from 2010 to 2015, we had Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. That was the president by then of Nigeria, who's right now 67 years old. And then we had Muhammad Buhari, who, of course, we saw him, of course, leaving the seat. That was in 2023. And then we have, of course, now the current Tinubu, who has taken over. But just trying to go back to history a little bit, before Obama could send all these funds to allow Boko Haram to take over Nigeria, to destabilize Nigeria, I believe still Nigeria still had no control of its own country. Because if I'm trying to go back to the shell situation, literally Nigeria was already held captive. It was not really in control of its oil. So they knew literally the oil, if Nigeria was given the opportunity to expand itself or enrich itself, it's going to become the greatest economy. But let me just continue this just as we continue. Shout out to Unsunken One, shout out to Jibajaba. I'm just trying to understand everything because it didn't start with Obama. It is way before Obama.
It was a very bad position for the country to be in, and that is where Buhari comes in. Buhari was a former military dictator, and he petitioned to the people as somebody who would be tough on terrorism because, he was part of the military, Abi. So you can really see that America funded Boko Haram made this guy very popular. And then beyond that, America went as far as banning the sale of weapons to the Nigerian government. So the Nigerian government could not even fight against Boko Haram if they wanted to because they were denied access to any weaponry to fight against them. Why exactly would America ban the sale of weapons and fund a terrorist group at the same time if they're not trying to cause this government to collapse? This is very simple. This is very easy to see. Like, the correlation is right there. By going further, on the eve of the 2015 election, Obama himself, the president of America, made a call to Nigerian people to go for change, to make the right decision. It was very clearly an endorsement, of the opposition candidate Buhari against the incumbent government of Goodluck Jonathan. The American government was actively fighting against the Nigerian state to ensure that the incumbent government lost to Buhari, the opposition candidate. And now we'll see the results of this issue, right? Because America succeeded. They got the incumbent government to lose. Goodluck Jonathan lost the election, and Buhari came to power. Mm-hmm. And what exactly has been the result of that? The result is America has won. Their interests have been met. Nigeria has collapsed. In the past 10 years since
I still believe their interest was still being served, even despite I don't, nah, nah, because let's understand that we don't control elections, right? Our elections are controlled by the same people who are literally in control of our mineral resources, are the same people who want and install these African leaders, and that's why this these evil deeds continue to happen because whoever they have installed allow this to happen in their country. Because if any of them had the balls, we'd not see any of them alive right now. If any of them had the balls to question what, oh, you're doing this, we've just discovered the US has been. None of them, if I'm to go back to literally their history of leadership, which I'm so good at, none of them have they accused the US of doing anything. It's always just for the blindsiding of people, just telling people, oh, we are checking accountability. But no, they didn't want Good Luck to win, probably because he wasn't corrupt enough, or maybe because they just wanted him out of the seat. Buhari, was he really corrupt? Oh my God, his corruption, of course, we checked on it some time back. Very corrupt. I'm not sure about this other guy, Umaru Musa, but all the presidents, I think there's a time he was actually checked. I think last year. He was accused of something. Let me see. He was accused of something just recently. So, nah. Their interest, the US interest or Israel interest was still being served, let's be specific, with whoever president was there.
Election since 2015, Nigeria's economy has gone from roughly $580 billion in 2015 to $200 billion in 2025. In 10 years, our GDP has more than halved. Our GDP per capita right now is less than $1,000. We are at par with nations like Haiti, Somalia, and Congo. Nigeria has fallen off completely. Our military is weakened. Terrorist groups, so many. We have Iswa, we have Lakurara, we have Boko Haram, several different organizations at work in Nigeria right now, destabilizing the state even more. And now we know that America is one that orchestrated all of these activities. Now we know that America wants to destroy Nigeria.
Not America, but yeah, not America, but literally the whole. I'd say these all of our enemies. They want to destabilize Africa. They all want a piece of it, and this is why whatever we're discussing about, even concerning Russia yesterday, Russia is not here to help Africa, and this is why we need to question why is it that actually Russia is building or setting up their embassies in African countries. If you really don't, if you're not trying to mark a territory, if you don't want a piece of my territory, why are you trying to mark a territory right here? So it is so crazy. But I want to go to the main video now of Lynn Gugi, who goes deeper, where we have now white people who are even exposing the Usaid for doing this, how they have been doing it and all that. But a shout out to Jiba Jabba, I see he says good luck, Jonathan. What a goofy. I know all of these presidents, none of them are good. They need to be audited. That's something personally I've said. If we really had accountability in Africa, and if we really had a true African Union that was working for Africa, every African leader should be checked, audited. Your assets should be publicized. Actually, we need to see your net worth. What is it that you did that you've gotten here? And you shouldn't even go that far. Like we said, 2.5 year, you're checked. What have you delivered? Oh, nothing? You should be stepping down. Not like Ruto is trying to extend literally from a 5-year term to a 7-year term, claiming dictatorship. We can't accept that. Jibajab also says it goes back to the 60s with the rebels in Biafra and the man-made famine of the time, literally. So it goes all the way back. It didn't start with Obama. Maybe majority of the people just see of what, but it started all the way back. And also see Jiba asks, when was Nigeria oil discovered for exploitation? Let me see that. That's a good question. When was Nigeria? Oh. So this is in 1956. Yeah. So they're saying that the oil was first discovered in Nigeria in 1956 in Olibir by what state? I can read that. But yeah, it is in 1956, literally, as you can see it. So let me share this main video as you get to continue, as you get to break more details further.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode. My name is Lynn Gugi, and I know right now you're wondering what's happening between Nigerians and Obama. How does Obama come from being one of the most loved presidents in the entire world to one of the most hated or disliked?
Doesn't like this lady. If you're there, you'll have to bear with me, kid. Shout out to John Mosquito. Good rising to you. Hope you're doing amazing.
By Nigerians right now. Why are Nigeria saying that Obama is responsible for the downfall of Nigeria in terms of economy and security?
Obama is responsible for the downfall of so many black people. You know, he would have done so much, but decided to do nothing. But like we saw yesterday with the videos we were sharing, it's even crazy. But Obama is a result of so many lives, so many black lives, so many, and should be held accountable. But he's working scot-free, you know.
Security. And I know right now we have all acknowledged and we have all come to the realization that Africa needs to save itself. Macron is
exactly. Finally, someone is saying it. Africans are realizing we're starting to realize we need to help ourselves. That's a good start. But it's going to take time, like I was saying yesterday, to have a collective number of people reasoning like this. Like what we saw yesterday with the Ibrahim Traore, people trying to put up a petition of Ibrahim becoming the first African president. It's going to become hard to change majority of the mentalities to reason like, hey, first we need to drop tribalism. We need to become one people. As a country, number one, we don't need to see ourselves as Kikuyu, Luo, as Igbo, as Borana, Somali. We need to become one people. Then see ourselves as Africans, borderless African people. Understanding and seeing the benefits that this can actually bring to us without including Macron, Trump, no Chinese president, no Russia, no Zelensky, none of them. And move solo. So yeah, because no one is our friend. Everyone wants a piece of Africa. That's just what we need to understand. Everyone is scrambling. They have a fight even between themselves so that they can get the bigger portion of every African country. Make it make sense.
Is not coming to save you. Trump is not coming to save you. And obviously, the former president of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
And also, our African puppets are not here to save us, because that's how we've been lied to with this democracy bullshit that doesn't work for us, doesn't serve us at all. Even these African puppets, it's us as Africans, us as a people, to raise our voice, to demand justice, demand democracy to work in our favor, not in their favor, because it always works in their favor. It always works and serves them in their own favor, never the people. This is why you see Ruto going to places. When people are saying Ruto must go, it's like, we'll make you all disappear. Oh, so you're trying to threaten me, but this is a democratic country. So why am I disappearing? Or because you're trying to say I should go. Because I should not become a dictator. Because you should not know you have a voice as a person, which is so wrong. So yeah, we need to save ourselves. The youth, we need to get this in our heads.
Obama did not save any African, according to so many views online. So let's get into it. Well, a video came out last week of US Congressman Scott Perry saying that Obama's administration, that is Obama and Biden's administration, funded...
That's the way she said Biden. She said Biden, but anyway.
Boko Haram through Usaid. I know Usaid it's a topic of conversation right now, and there are so many revelations coming out of the things that Usaid did. But above
the Usaid has been trafficking children globally. Usaid has been funding all these wars. Usaid has been funding all these illegal aliens. Usaid has been doing so much in the name of feeding people globally. Man, we've been lied to. We've been so lied to. It's just that I see the picture of the Usaid and how many the stamps in majority of the things I've seen here in Africa, or literally, it's so many. Then you can't figure out all this. That is what they've been doing. What's more?
All Nigerians hearing that Barack Obama's administration was responsible for funding Boko Haram through USAID is not something that is sitting well with Nigerians. Let's listen to this video first from the US Congressman Scott Perry, where he not only alleges that USAID funded Boko Haram, but it also funded other terrorist groups. And this one specific, the Boko Haram one that carried out terror attacks in Nigeria, Cameroon, Niger and Chad was actually hugely funded by this specific USAID. Let's listen in.
Your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think...
Training camps, all these training camps. Oh, training camps. We had one in Kenya. Let me, as he speaks, let me look for that. Training camps.
That the program under Operation Enduring Sentinel, entitled Women's Scholarship Endowment, which receives $60 million annually, or the Young Women Lead, which gets about $5 million annually, is going to women who, by the way, if you read the Inspector General's report, is telling you that the Taliban does not allow women to speak in public. Yet somehow you're believing, and American people are supposed to believe, that this money is going for the betterment of the women in Afghanistan. It is not. You are funding terrorism, and it's coming through USAID. And it's not just Afghanistan, because Pakistan's right next door. USAID spent $840 million in the last 20 years on Pakistan's education-related program. It includes $136 million to build 120 schools, of which there is zero evidence that any of them were built.
Exactly. No schools, no nothing. No hospitals, nothing. This is the biggest scam. The biggest. And of course we have bigger ones. We have more that are yet to come to light. I know that. But where are all these funds? Oh, they've been funding us. So just as we pause on that before I get to continue with the video. So I have this article I pulled, and this is coming from Kenya from 2008, an article of 2008, where we had people testifying about the US training and the British too. The British Army who are here for training. So the article reads, let me see if I can give a quick summary of it. So it says civilians in Kenya, western Mount Elgon district near the border with the Uganda have been twice victimized in a little known conflict between Kenyan security forces and a military group known as the Sabato Land Defense Forces, forcing tens of thousands to flee their home. Since 2006, the SCLDF has attacked thousands of civilians, killing, raping, and mutilating in a complex mix of land disputes, criminality, struggles for local power. And the government security response initially laxator was massively stepped up with early 2008 after Kenya's dispute election after the introduction of the Kenyan's armed force. In a joint armed police operation, the security forces conducted mass roundup of thousands of men and boys, tortured hundreds of not thousands in detentions, and unlawfully killed dozens of others. So this is I believe one of their funded. And then we have another one. This is another article from 2023. This is about the Britain's banning, which of course has led to no injustice yet. So they're saying 6 decades after colonial rule ended in Kenya, British troops that remain in the Eastern African nation are being accused of massive environment damage. Thousands of rural Kenyans are fighting for justice in a landmark community campaign. And 2 years ago, British soldiers were cooking on an army exercise in Kenya where things suddenly spiraled out of control. Sparks from their small stove ignited a grass. That was not it. They used a certain chemical. They were here for training. I remember me reporting, and this is not the first one. There are so many of them. Others coming from Tanzania, because I remember actually this also affected, there's another one that affected the border of Kenya and Tanzania. They were here training. They used a certain chemical. I can't remember the name. And it caused all this fire. Why are they here? That's the first question.
Why would there be any evidence? The inspector general can't get in to see him. But you know what? We doubled down and spent $20 million from USAID to create educational television programs for children unable to attend the physical school.
And that's a lie.
Yeah, they can't attend it because it doesn't exist. You paid for it. Somebody
Exactly.
else got the money. You are paying for terrorism.
If you look at Africa right now, the majority or the percent, let me look at the percentage actually just in Africa, not just Kenya. Let me ask Google, what is the percentage of students that are not in school today, 2025, in Africa? Okay. Let me see. How many children are not in school in Africa today? 46 million. Every child has a fundamental right, this is what Google tells me, has a fundamental right to inclusive and quality education. Yet, almost 46 million schools-aged children across Eastern, Southern Africa are out of school. The most marginalized children, including children affected by conflict and climate emergencies, are the most deprived. The same thing they are funding. So you expect children to go to school in countries, because that's the same thing I was talking about Congo last week, right? So we have schools reopened right now in Congo, but there is war going on in Congo. Bullets, left, right, and center. The M23 rebels are advancing in every city. So how am I as a student? How is my security assured by the country that I'm going to go to school, study in peace, still hearing bullets, and I'm supposed to get everything downloaded in my head? Make that make sense? In a country full of war, how do you educate people? In a country full of blood, how do you expect people to even process their thoughts from that? In a country where bullets day and night is like the birds of that country, how do you expect people to actually be able to move forward or advance in any way? Of course not, because that's not their aim. I mean, I shared the video last week, but why people evidently telling us how they on purpose keep us poor. They want to keep us in this war, because if Africa is allowed just one bit left alone, we are the richest continent, yes, but we're gonna beat the rest, and even more. We will thrive. And if we didn't have this kind of puppets, if we had like an Ibrahim Traore guiding us and leading us the right way, we'll be forward.
And so, as you can hear, these are huge allegations, huge allegations by Scott Perry, who is saying that not only did USAID fund Boko Haram activities, that is in Africa.
Well, we know they're not allegations. They are facts.
We are talking about
where they smoke, there's fire.
Chad, Cameroon, and even Nigeria, but they are also responsible in funding these activities in Afghanistan and Pakistan. But right now, I want us to...
And Sudan and Congo. Nobody's mentioning Congo, Sudan, in Burkina Faso. Same thing is happening in other African countries. What is affecting right now the Isiolo people in Kenya? People are being shot live because you can't step in your own land, or because the US has to benefit from carbon emission, the climate change 2025 agenda. Yeah? Okay.
To pay attention to Nigeria so that we might be able to understand why are Nigerians mad and what role did the Obama-Biden administration play in all this. For us to be able to understand this, we need to go back to 1999, right? So we are looking at Nigeria in 1999. Obasanjo is coming to power. Him and his administration, they are coming to power. And at this particular moment, Nigeria is bad. Like way bad. We are talking about it being the fourth biggest economy in Africa, but with a GDP of 58 billion and also a national debt of $35 billion. So things are obviously not going well in Nigeria.
It was not, because listen, the country was already in debt. Like the biggest economy back at you listen to how the debt was by that time already, 35 billion. And I bet it is in US dollars, not naira, of course, because we don't borrow in our own currency. We borrow in their currency, and we'll have to pay back in their currency. This is so crazy. So of course they started, or the destabilization of Nigeria started even before this president. The situation was already way bad. We have to call a spade, literally. It's not like any of these African puppets who came up, made the economy way better. They were yet to continue selling out their people and the country.
But when Obasanjo comes in just 3 years, he's able to drive his economy, and we can see there's this huge growth rate in Nigeria. Actually, it's 15.8% economic growth rate that is happening in Nigeria. Things are looking up. The digital economy is growing. Some people in Nigeria have actually said the Obasanjo administration was one of the best they witnessed.
Well, listen, family, and listen very carefully. Coming from me, we're gonna do investigation of Obasanjo. We're gonna check into his assets. We're gonna check into his corruption files and see if he's really clean. Of course, every African president doesn't lack 1, 2, 3 compliments of what they did. Trust me, they always have 1, 2, 3 round of applauses following them. But if you follow deeper, it's more than just 1, 2, 3 round of applauses. Like I said, apart from just Obasanjo, of course, we had other African leaders. Like I mentioned, we had Umaru Musa, who I have to check on his coolness because he was accused of something last year. Like I said, we have Good Luck, who I'm certain if we check into him again, he started corruption, full of shit. Buhari, let's not even talk about Buhari, you guys. Let's not even talk about Buhari. Buhari had students being kidnapped near to where he went to on a vacation. It's just like we saw Ruto going, he's supposed to go somewhere, but people are getting kidnapped that day. Make it make sense. Where the president is going is supposed to be the most securest place. Security should, they check the, come on. It's giving the Trump attempt assassination
in Nigeria. So you are looking at this particular administration that cares about its people. It's doing the right things by the people. It's driving the economy. It's growing the economy. They are doing, you know, the net export of cement is definitely increasing. They are doing competitive bidding when it comes to the oil blocks. The digital economy is blossoming.
Competitive with who? Let's start with the which Nigeria is competing with who? You want to tell me the United Arab countries? Nigeria is competing with no one. And let me see. What is Lynn Gugi talking about? I'm going to check. That I have to correct her on that. Nigeria is not competing with anyone. It doesn't even control anything in it. So how do you start a competition when you don't even control your own resources? We're talking about trading here. So no.
So by the time Obasanjo leaves office and we have seen now Jonathan come in, the economy of Nigeria has stabilized. Not only is Nigeria becoming the biggest economy in Africa, so we are talking about Nigeria being bigger than South Africa, being bigger than Kenya, being bigger than Tanzania, being bigger than Uganda. Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa. And you remember, we are talking about a national debt of 35 billion, which they've done.
So listen, I just asked Google. See, because I'm telling you, Nigeria doesn't compete. Google is telling me Nigeria competes with other countries in many ways, including viral sports, as a competitor of economic dominance in Africa, okay, and as a trading partner with other countries. Trading, but how does it benefit? But they just started with sports. It's the joke in it.
massive wonders in clearing that. But remember, the GDP of that particular nation was 58 billion. Now you get into a place where the GDP is 568 billion by 2014. So even by the time by the time Obasanjo is leaving office and you have Good Luck and his administration coming in, the economy of Nigeria is really stabilized, right? But something else is happening in Nigeria around 2014. I know Boko Haram started way back. Actually, some sources will even tell you Boko Haram started in 2002. But around 2013, 2014, things are really looking bad for Nigeria. Remember this, you have an economy that has stabilized, but then there's this terror group that is coming up aggressively around 2014. So by 2014, you can see a lot of aggressive activities by Boko Haram, right? And remember, even as this is happening, the Goodluck Jonathan administration is willing to have a conversation with Boko Haram, because right now, what the Nigerian army is doing, the Nigerian army also becomes really aggressive, and we can see a lot of people in Boko Haram surrendering. So this is actually something that you can tell the Nigerian government is able to tackle, because at this particular moment, not only are they defeating Boko Haram, but we can see...
No, I doubt it. I doubt if Nigeria, did they really even have a strong military group to be able to defeat, because I believe I believe she's reporting what the media wanted us to see by that time. Because
a lot of surrender from this particular terror group, but they even actually go ahead and seek mediation, and they seek mediation in terms of amnesty. They are saying, if you surrender, we are going to give you, we are going to pardon you, we are going to give you amnesty. You can tell they want peace in this particular country. And let's not joke about Nigeria, by the way, guys. We are talking about minerals in Nigeria. You have the minerals, you have the oil, you have the cement. It is the biggest economy in Africa, and I don't want us to lose this. But even as Jonathan's administration is calling for a mediation between Boko Haram and the government, Boko Haram says, no, we don't want peace. By the way, we don't want peace. We want violence. So you are looking at all these things happening in 2014, right? In this particular year, in 2014.
Exactly. And this is the time we had the kidnapping of those hundreds of women who we saw, some of them being released in 2021. They came back pregnant. Others came back as wives. Others came back as mothers, It's it is crazy.
The election,
they didn't want peace, because it's crazy when African countries, they think this peace initiative talk is always between us, or it's something to do with us. It's nothing to do with us. Okay, like when it comes to this, it's the same thing we've been seeing right now when it comes to Congo. This peace initiative talk is not going to be decided by us until we have literally strong military bases, and until we really have independent leaders who are not being guided left, right, and center. Hey, I want you to do this. I want you to do this because you're a bootlicker, because I already put you in power. I already pardoned you and your mistakes. We took you to Hague, but it's okay. You became president, right? That's what you wanted. You do what we want you to do. The peace initiative talk is never between us. So whether we go, oh, we're gonna pardon you, it's not you. Did you start the war? Are you funding anything? Shut up and watch the game, as you always do. That's what you can do, literally.
Is 2015. I need you guys to be able to, don't forget that particular part, because we are going to tie in the ropes between 2014 and 2015, because I believe this is when so many things start happening in Nigeria. And who is in power? Of course, in America, Barack is in power in America.
Obama. And at that time, who is in power in Nigeria? Good Luck is in power in Nigeria.
So they continue fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And this fight brings us to one of the most internationally publicized event in Nigeria. This is the Chibok school girls kidnapping. You remember, guys? Yep. Bring back our girls.
Exactly. The Chibok, like I said, some of them were released in 2021. Some came back as wives and mothers. Yeah.
You remember that? It was actually widely covered internationally. This was, you even here in Kenya, you would wake up and you hear that Boko Haram, they have kidnapped almost 250 something girls in Nigeria, and the whole world went crazy. So you're waking up as a president. So I'm imagining Jonathan right here. He wakes up, not only is he fighting for a better Nigeria, not only is this terror group saying we don't want peace, we want violence, but you wake up to the news that over 200 girls, school girls, are missing. And who has kidnapped these particular girls? Boko Haram. And now the whole world is outraged. You have celebrities with placards in, red carpets, holding these placards of bring back our girls. You have the whole international media criticizing the Nigerian government of not responding quickly to this disaster. And obviously you have Michelle Obama. And this is actually the first time Michelle Obama would appear instead of Barack Obama to give a statement on the same. And let me see.
Oh, yeah, make it make sense.
If we can be able to get that video where Michelle Obama is speaking about the Chibok girls incident.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Obama, and on this Mother's Day weekend, I want to take a moment to honor all the mothers out there and wish you a happy Mother's Day. I also want to speak to you about an issue of great significance to me as First Lady, and more importantly,
man, it's the games for me. You do this, then come out and that's like, I'm very concerned about what is happening in Africa. We have no goddamn idea where these people came from. We are going and we will try our level best to bring you help. We're going to send the UN peacekeepers. The EU is with you. We're going to, of course, also fund the African Union and talk to them. And African leaders also should say something. Come on. It's the games for me.
As the mother of two,
as if he didn't know what was going on, as if he didn't know this guy on the screen, as if he didn't know what was happening.
Young daughters. Like millions of people across the globe, my husband and I are outraged and heartbroken over the kidnapping of more than 200 Nigerian girls from their school dormitory in the middle of the night. This unconscionable act was committed by a terrorist group determined to keep these girls from getting an education.
Funded by who? Funded by who?
Grown men attempting to snuff out
grown men like you,
the aspirations of young girls. And I want you to know that Barack has directed our government to do everything possible to support the Nigerian government's efforts to find these girls and bring them home.
Oh, and what did the US government do ever since? Because we still have majority of these girls still held captive by the same groupers of people, of course, who are not getting funds right now. They were left, maybe they are in Nigeria. Just took some Nigerians, gave them uniforms and advanced arms and these trailers and tractors. And today, if you follow majority of them, probably they're very poor. Because we know Africa, and it comes to financial literacy, it's not an education we've been given. You have to study that on your own. So, of course, you're going to get this couple of dollars, go drink your moonshine, make these ladies pregnant, and now you are just a reckless, shitty-ass type of a dad. But yeah, it's so funny.
All right, so you can hear that's Michelle Obama criticizing this act by Boko Haram.
Big Mike Lynn Gogi is called Big Mike.
And urging, the government of Nigeria to do what it has to do to bring back the girls, and even saying that Barack Obama has directed that, Nigeria be accorded whatever help they need in order to bring back the girls. I want to imagine that I honestly took part in that whole situation when I personally also heard that over 200 young girls had been kidnapped from their school dormitory. That didn't look like it did not look right, and it was not supposed to. And given that we still have hundreds of these young girls who are still missing, that still does not sit right, right? But here you are.
It doesn't sit right, so that should be a question back to the US, because by that time we see Michelle Obama came out and said that actually Obama is doing something about it. So we go back to this is what we're talking about, accountability. What did the US do to help these children to come back to their families? Nothing. Is there still war going on? Is there still destabilization happening every single day to make Nigerians' life literally hard? Yes. What is the US doing about this? Nothing about it.
With Michelle Obama saying that Barack Obama is giving all the help to Nigeria. But before the Chibok girls incident happened, Nigeria went to the US government because they needed to buy weapons.
Wow. You see? And then you want to tell me that the president at that time was so stupid enough, didn't know what was happening in his country, is going to the same people destabilizing his country, asking for help. Because you know what? You're the richest economy, actually. One of the largest economy, but you don't even produce shit. Because you're not even making any profit out of the list you have. Because you don't control it. Oh, so Nigeria went to ask for help in the US before the Chibok girls were abducted to deal with the Boko Haram. And then after the Chibok girls were kidnapped, the US now comes claiming they will help Nigeria. Hey, okay.
That they would use to fight Boko Haram. But before even Chibok happened, you guys have to understand how strong Boko Haram was. In terms of weaponry, it had more.
Coming from who?
Than even the Nigeria's government.
Exactly. Africa, we don't produce weapons. So where are these weapons? Advanced weapons. I'm a poor-ass Nigerian. Where am I getting all these ski masks, uniform, all these advanced weapons? Where are they coming from?
Army. So you are talking about a terror group that has more weapons than even your government's army. So but Nigeria went.
That makes sense. And they're gonna. So if we go back to, I wish they can explain, because let me see if Google is telling us, right? Who are the Boko Haram? Where did they come from? They have to come from somewhere. Or it's unidentified? Is it some Nigerian rebel groups? At least we know, like the M23 rebels, these are just fellow Rwandese. So people Africans are made to turn against Africans. They're using you to turn against each other. So are these fellow Africans or are these white people? Because as we can see literally from that video, these are fellow Africans. Fellow Africans on those ski masks, skin black. So where are they coming from?
To Barack's administration, and they begged them to sell them these weapons so that they could be able to fight the army. But they were told, no. Let me actually tell you what happened. The Nigeria ambassador, even to the US, Adebowale Ibidapo, he himself said that the Nigerian people and government felt abandoned by the US. And what excuse did the US give? And I believe that this is very, very strange.
This is Google, right? Google says Boko Haram, officially known as Jamata, whatever, I can't pronounce that name. It's a group of people of Sunnah, of Dawa, and whatever, and it's a proclaimed jihadist terrorist organization based in the northern eastern Nigeria, also active in Chad, Niger, and northern Cameroon and Mali. So could it be that they went collecting a group of young African people, because that's what they always do, and then give them, of course, these advanced weapons and make them turn against fellow Africans? Because I'm just trying to connect the dots.
straightforward. It's because they said the army, when the army would suspect any member of being a member, any person or any citizen of being a member of the Boko Haram, they would absolutely violate their human rights. And so the US government goes against selling weapons to a government that has been accused of violating the rights of any individual. And you would say, you know what? Yeah, that's actually true. Why would they assist Nigeria in this case? But now when Nigerians look back, they are like, we came to you when we couldn't do anything about this specific terrorist group. What you did, you actually closed your doors on us. So by the time Chibok is happening, you have a very, very frustrated president. You have a stronger terror group that is even stronger than your own army, and the whole world is looking at you, wanting answers and demanding for bring back our girls. A lot of controversies have arisen from the whole Chibok girls. There are people who have criticized how the Western media covered all this. There are people who have criticized how these girls' stories were documented. There are people who have even insinuated that this whole Chibok girls and, the whole incident was ostracized or it came from the West. I don't know what you guys think. And this,
I mean, of course, come on, what do we think? We know the mainstream media, we don't control the mainstream media. Lean Googie, that's why you have your own channel, so that you can be able to bring light to people, because the mainstream media is a lie. So of course they're going, we see it every day. Even talk about Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Since they acquired true independency, what have we been seeing the mainstream media actually pinning on them? Oh, they kill people. They kill people. They bring their jihadists with advanced weapon, kill civilians, and then report. The Malian government is incapable of taking care of its people, and we need it ruled back to civilian rule. Oh, so that they can fully take control of the country. Oh, so right now, so many civilians have died, and this is because we've been chased out of the country and we need to come back. So you can fully take control of the country. Oh, it's not enough. Right now, we have reports of how our people are being chased out, and Africa is going to suffer if we're not there. Who told you we need you? So it's very expected. It was very expected.
This is a hard one to try and balance, because one hand you have so many girls who are missing, but on the other hand you have a government that is saying this is not what happened, and by the time it happened, we had begged the American government, we had begged even Barack's administration to come through for Nigeria, and they did not come through for Nigeria.
And apart from begging, I want us to understand, none of these leaders, again, like I said, the peace initiative talk is not up to us. All we have to do is keep quiet. That's what we can do. Keep quiet, watch the game.
So, by the way Nigerians are viewing it is, why would you criticize us for trying to do I think there's also a video of Jonathan saying he does not know what happened to these girls. He has also admitted that there are instances where he feels that he failed, because he should have made it his priority to make sure that his country was safe. So you have the Chibok girl.
The chase again was never up to him.
Events happening in 2014, that's the April of 2014. You have the whole world, because when something like that happens, and when people realize that this is happening in your country, people are going to caution their people. Like you will have America's government cautioning the people.
Exactly, but not Africa. Let's be very specific on that. You'll always have America, because it's crazy. They're going to fund this war through the Usaid, right? kill civilians of people through their same jihadists or the Boko Haram, fulfill their mission, take over the cities or the territories they literally intend to take, so that they can take full control of the resources or whatever they're aiming to literally claim right there. And it doesn't end there. The same people funding this war are the first people to evacuate their people out of a country that they have funded wars. I've evidently been watching this. Every time we have any attack that they know is supposed to happen in Africa, they want their citizens, and if possible, evacuate them as quick as possible. But when it comes to us, our own very leaders, you will cry. You will cry. Your great-great-grandparents before they come rescue you. I think it was last year we were talking about, it was, which was this city? Was it Bethlehem? Was it Bethlehem? Which city was bombed by Israel? There's one of the cities that was bombed by Israel, and so many Africans were there, including Kenyans. And it was 15,000 Kenyans, right? But our government said only 1,500 Kenyans requested for help. In a country where there is bombing left, right, and center, and your race is not even recognized, whether you are alive or dead, they don't care. Your government is saying only 1,500 requested for help. Requested. While every Kenyan was crying on TikTok, asking the Kenyan government to come rescue them. We have jokes of leaders. Jokers of leaders. And this is why whatever she said at the beginning, Africa, no one is coming to save us, because these people are always ready to save themselves. Always ready. Are we? What's our agenda? Because they have an agenda. I'll go back to what I said sometime last year. They always have an agenda when it comes to us. Do we have an agenda when it comes to them?
Against even traveling or doing business with Nigeria. You will have the UK government issuing.
No, it wasn't Ukraine. It was just recently, towards the end of the year, Java. It was actually towards the end of the year where we saw, I don't know, it was Bethlehem. I don't remember. I can't remember. It's a country with a lot of A's, or one of the cities with a lot of A's, and some Africans were there. It was Israel that was bombing that place last year, towards the end of last year. I don't know if Keith is on the chat. Lebanon, thank you, Keith. Yeah, Lebanon, exactly. Lebanon. Kenyans were crying left, right, and center. 1,500 of them were stuck. No, 15,000, I mean. 15,000 Kenyans were confirmed to be in Lebanon. But only 1,500 requested, according to the government, requested for help. And we are not sure even if they got here. So it's so crazy. Our priorities are totally different. And we should learn from our enemies.
Saying it's not safe to visit Nigeria. You will have people who are doing business in Nigeria not wanting to do business in Nigeria because they're scared of their safety, right? But as that is happening, then you are looking at 2014 being such a bad year for Nigeria. You have the kidnappings, you have the attacks, the economy is dwindling. This is not supposed to, make the economy any better. If anything, this makes the economy worse. And this, you're coming from a very stabilized economy to an economy that no one cares about right now. So let
me see when because she keeps talking about when Nigeria economy was stabilized, and I want to get that. When was Nigeria? Because to me it seems like Nigeria economy was never ever stable, ever since colonization, because they truly took control of the whole country. We know they set up this country as a company, number one. So I'm going to check on that. When was Nigeria economy really, really stable? And what was it really doing? What profit was it really making? Trades and all that.
West, North, and South, nothing good is happening in Nigeria. And as that is happening, 2015 is an election year in Nigeria. And then this is now where this is where Nigerians are faulting Barack Obama. Obviously, a lot of people agree the way the president then, Goodluck Jonathan, handled the events was not the best way to do it. But also people are questioning, what is the relationship between Buhari and Barack Obama?
He's a puppet. The heck?
Because right now you have people going into an election, you have Goodluck Jonathan here, and then you have Buhari here. And obviously, there's no way Goodluck Jonathan is going to win this election. People are looking at him as such an irresponsible leader. This is a leader who cannot guarantee the safety of his citizens. So you have Barack Obama in the midst of Nigeria's election. When things are so heated up, Barack sends this to the people of Nigeria. Let's play this particular video because it's going to be the baseline of so many accusations.
Hello. Today I want to speak directly to you, the people of Nigeria. Nigeria is a great nation, and you can be proud of the progress you've made.
You know, and that's why Nigeria is a great nation, and that's why you've been funding. You funded all this Boko Haram. You've been funding wars, not just since Boko Haram, even before that.
He's a puppet, Joey.
Exactly.
He's a puppet. He's only doing what he's so. They put Buhari up there because at that time Nigeria was stable. Goodluck Jonathan did stabilize the economy, and at that time. Nigeria had the biggest economy. Like I said, at that time they already projected that Nigeria would be the first African country to go into what they call a middle class economy by 2025, having $1 trillion economy. White people don't want that because that starts making you have a real power in Africa. They don't want any real powers in Africa. Africa always poor, fucked up, and destabilized. So that's when they put that puppet in there. You know, Barack don't control it. The Jays put Buhari in there, and they brought in Boko Haram to destabilize the country, like the Al-Shabaabs in Kenya. All these terrorist groups, the Jays run our country. So the small hats put this no good dick sucking nigga in there. I have some guy on TikTok. This Barack Obama just hates black people. He's a puppet, dude. He didn't care about no black. You fell for that goofy Kenyan story. You're like the dudes arguing on the bus. Let him be. As he came back to Africa, this dude is treacherous. So their main goal, even at the expense of developing America. America's falling apart. But they don't care about that, long as Africa never builds. And that's what it was all about. Make sure Africa does not develop. So at that time, Nigeria was projected to be the dominant economy in Africa. They can have that because that was the most populated country. So that would make other Africans look toward Nigeria, and it would cause Africans to unite. Main things that keep Africans divided, because Africans unite, who can beat Africans? There's 3 billion African people on the planet. You're the majority on the planet. So that's why I push tribalism. I push terrorism. I push everything to make sure Africans never unite. You're a danger if you unite.
That's so true. Yeah, because I was looking at that and I'm seeing Nigeria economy was stable between 2004 to 2008 due to economic reforms and growing non-oil sector. Yeah. And details under that. But let me play this as a continue.
Together, you've won your independence, emerged from military rule, and strengthened democratic
military rule. Your military rule. Which independence? Your own independence, because independence in Africa serves according to white people's term, not Africans' term.
He knows that, Joe. He's a phone. Everybody talking all that fake shit.
We have to make it clear. They have to be reminded in case they think we don't know. You have to understand, Obama. When you come to Kenya again, you're no longer Luo. Find your homeland, because we don't know you. We don't recognize you.
I don't think he's becoming a Kenyan, Joby.
Don't care.
He ain't been back. He ain't been back. almost 10 years since he's been out the White House. He's not coming. He's been out the White House for 9 years. He ain't coming. He ain't came then. He ain't coming now. That
Yeah, yeah,
scammy. That scammy don't care about no more.
that love is gone. It's all gone.
You've strived to overcome divisions and turn Nigeria's diversity into a source of strength. You've worked hard to improve the lives of your families and to build the largest economy in Africa.
And see, what's this? See, pause it. See, that's what, pause it. Exactly. This is how propaganda works. That's how, so they're like, yeah, Obama's on our side. Obama's somehow, we become the biggest economy while he's plotting to destroy your ass.
It's sad. It is
Go ahead,
sad.
Joe.
I'm looking at this and remembering yesterday's video, and I'm in my mind. I'm like, have we even been dealing with the real Obama? Because it makes kind of sense to have a clone to be talking like this, kid, not a real human being. Okay, if you've really been dealing with clones who have been doing all these evil things, then everything makes sense, literally. Because there's no way these are real humans in their right mindset. You're causing literally trouble, but you want to come as the savior. This is just psychopathic.
How about that, Joby? How about that, Joby? It's yes, it's yes, Joby. It's psychopathic. It's problem, reaction, solution.
You've been raised, of course, they have not been raised upright. I understand that, but there's no way. You just can't have some sense in you to just understand this is wrong. Of course, this is why they need the clones. Because they don't have do the clones have emotion? I doubt. Do they have emotions, kid? Do clones have emotions?
The clones it's about the demons that are inside the clones are low vibrational, Joe. Those are demonic entities. So yeah, they have emotions. They don't care.
Emotions that don't care. That's it.
They don't.
Thank you for specifying.
The evil.
Yeah, evil emotions that don't care. Because what?
Have a historic opportunity to help write the next chapter of Nigeria's progress by voting in the upcoming elections.
Islamic causing fire. I'm just trying to progress this, right? Causing fire, and then I come. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's fire. I'm gonna bring help. Don't worry. I know that there's damages that have been caused, but I'm the one who was caused. This is just another level of sickness.
That's right. That's right.
It's crazy.
For elections to be credible, they must be free, fair, and peaceful.
These fake elections they talk about.
Must be able to cast their votes without intimidation.
Those elections were phony because they rigged them. They put Buhari in power. This is what a con man does. They wanted to destroy Nigeria. That's why they talk about they must be fair and all this other shit. While he knows the CIA had already rigged it and put Buhari in power. It's all nonsense.
So I call on all leaders and candidates.
That's why Buhari served the longest, because I also kind of questioned why Goodluck didn't serve the longest. Goodluck served only from 2011 to 2015. That is 4 years. From 2010 to 2015. Sorry.
Because they wanted to get him. They wanted to get him out of it because they wanted to put terrorism in there. They're like, oh, he wasn't going along with the point. And then before Goodluck Jonathan got there, the other leader that really stabilized Nigeria, they murdered him. They killed the president of Nigeria before Goodluck Jonathan. You can look at who was the president before Goodluck Jonathan. They murdered his ass.
It was Umar. Is it Umar Musa? That is his name.
And look, say, and see if he had a heart attack after he sat down and drank tea with the Clintons.
He died in 2010.
Huh?
He died in 2010.
Yes. They poisoned his ass. Hillary Clinton poisoned his ass. The Clintons again. That's right. You gotta go. Damn, you're gonna make Africa into a power nigga? No, you're not.
Yeah. Okay, that's crazy. But I think there was an official I saw recently being accused of some certain sort of corruption during his time, but I won't get into that currently. That is just so crazy. It's crazy.
To make it clear to their supporters that violence has no place in democratic elections.
Yeah, democratic.
And that they will not incite, support, or engage in any kind of violence before, during, or after.
Listen to this Negro who was running around killing and bombing African people, Libya, Syria, This motherfucker dropped more bombs than anybody. Joby had put it up a few months ago. Obama killed more people than any other president in history. See, they need the black face on their white supremacy. Because, yeah, but that's Obama did all this shit. He's black. as if Obama had any real damn power. Just killing folks and shit.
We don't know him. This is not us. This is we don't know him. We don't know him. He's not black.
He's not like us. He's not like us. He's not like us.
He's not us.
He's not like us. He's been digging in other men's buttholes. Of course, he's not like us.
This is not us. When I talk about even critical thinking, it's just having when you want to do something wrong, and then you have your subconscious mind just tells you, nah, that's wrong, right? That's wrong.
Yes, I told you keep thinking you're ruled by Joby. The world is ruled by psychopaths and child rapists and all kind of shit. That's what Obama is. So that's what we're gonna do part 2 today. We're gonna do part 2 today about who runs and where do they come from. And that's the people they put in power. He is what they've always what they groomed him to be. From a child. Obama was groomed by the CIA from a child. His daddy, Barry Soetoro, was a CIA operative, was a CIA hitman.
The MK Ultra makes sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. The MK Ultra whole thing. Is it part of it? It's part of it. But I'm trying to understand if the MK Ultra.
But I only had the MK Ultra his ass. He was already groomed to be wicked and evil. I only did MK Ultra his ass, Joby. He was willing to be wicked and evil. They didn't have to trick this nigga to be wicked and evil. They groomed him as a child to be wicked and evil. And remember, you keep saying black. You are what your mother's. He comes out of a white coochie. He's white. That's right. If you guys understand genetics, it has nothing to do with whether you're mixing out. It's what race who's born, whose womb will you sit in. He's a psychopath. He was born by a white woman. That's if you're mixing and your daddy was white and your mother's black, then you're black because you come out of that black womb. It's a complete difference. Depending on if you're biracial, okay, who was your mother? If your mother was black, you have a little, you still have that blackness in you, still that compassion, that love. Coming out of this nigga came out of a whole white womb. Literally, he's really a white man. That's just a fact. That's how genetics work. Like it or not. Come out of a black woman's womb, the black woman kill most of the white man's sperm that ignited that egg, so it still be bathed in that African melanin, and usually that child has some act right. But him being born in a white coochie, he's already fucked up. He's them. He's them in a coconut shell. But he's them.
Crazy, but let me wrap it up with this one a little bit so we continue.
I didn't know you was live. I was waiting for you on Rumble. What the hell, Joby at? Where's Joby at?
Sorry. It's not a little late, but we're just on YouTube and the network and on the radio. But
yeah. I didn't know.
Sure, the votes are counted. I call on all Nigerians to peacefully express your views and to reject the voices of those who call for violence. When elections are free and fair, it is the responsibility of all
citizens. We don't got free and fair elections in America. It is all bullshit. What the youth call cat. It's cat. Bullshit.
Successful elections and democratic progress will help Nigeria meet the urgent challenges you face today. Boko Haram, a brutal terrorist group that killed innocent a brutal terrorist group that we founded and fund, Joby.
It's so funny, man. It's so funny as it sounds. They're very brutal. What? As if you have nothing to do with this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Shit.
Men, women, and children.
A brutal terrorist group, Joby.
Hundreds of kidnapped children deserve to be returned to their families. Nigerians who have been forced to flee deserve to return to their homes.
Thousands of kidnapped children must be returned, even though it's us that's doing it, and you goofy niggas don't know. It's right. You figured out. It took you 10 years to figure out where's all the funding coming for all these people, these goddamn terrorists in poor countries that don't have jobs to fund none of their damn events. How's this happening?
Boko Haram wants to destroy Nigeria and all that you have built.
Wow.
By casting your ballot, you can help secure your nation's progress. I'm told that there's a saying in your country: to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. Today, I urge all Nigerians, from all religions, all ethnic groups, and all regions, to come together and keep Nigeria one. And in this task of advancing the security, prosperity, and human rights of all Nigerians, you will continue to have a friend and partner in the United States of America.
So you can listen to that. That's
what? It's some bullshit. Bullshit on bullshit on bullshit. This is just so crazy. It's the upright face from. It's giving Kagame. Okay? So upright. It's giving Kagame. Like, I'm so sorry. My neighbors,
propaganda don't work unless it's real. What's wrong with you?
I had my neighbors are suffering, but I have nothing to do with that. I am sorry. My apology.
That's right. So there you go, Joe. But you'll be a great propagandist, man.
As a matter of fact, we shall call the African leaders so we can discuss about the peace initiative talks. We see fire in Congo.
See, Joby already getting ready to be an MP already. She knows how to play the game.
I do that so well. Oh my God, because hey, our people's mentality is so gone. You can see how easy to be convinced like this. You don't see through the bullshit. I saw through the bullshit to understand. I never took a voter's card. That was number one. Don't you dare force me go take a voter's card. I'm not taking no voter's card. You wanna vote? Go alone. You believe your vote makes a change? That's on you. Okay? Not me. I'm not going to take a whole line for 10,000 people for me to be reached there. I'm waking up at 3 a.m. to go vote, and then I'm gonna be voting at 6 p.m. Only in Africa. So I'm not doing that. And then you tell me my vote is gonna make a change for 12 hours of me standing, and it didn't make a change. Crazy. You're crazy, and you tell me to go to the ballot again. No way. But this is so insane, man. To see all the truth that is coming out literally after all this Usaid, of course, aid being cut. We've seen so much truth coming out right now. Of where all the funds have been going towards this training of these jihadists, these terrorists, to the funding of the illegal aliens, to the funding of child trafficking. It's so many things that have really been happening, with this all said fund. And
remember last year when Ibrahim Traore gave that speech, said the same thing. Said these people are the ones funding these terrorists. And was shut up, nigga. You made it up. They're not funding it. He said these people who supposedly are friends have come to help us. They're the ones that's funding it. I said, finally, somebody said it. Yes, Ibrahim, that's true. You're on the ground. How the fuck are these people getting money? Huh? Where the money come from? These terrorists got jobs? Where they getting funding? Like you said, they got better weapons than us. And they want to sell us weapons. And these terrorists got better weapons. Exactly. Where they getting them from?
It is so insane. But let me go to the comments as we wind down. But says, what about those Egyptian, Tunisia, and the will they join the Black African? Of course not.
No,
I
absolutely not.
Yeah, I highly object. What we're gonna do is take back our lands, and they can go back to whatever shithole they came from. Shout out to Trump. We take back our shithole, they go back to their shithole where they came from. That's what we do. But I also see Sankenon Karibu Sana, hope you're doing amazing. He says, be nice, Miss Billy Gates. I say Bill Gates nowadays. Come on. And we have John Mosquito as well in the building. Ali was saying those people always deviate towards the winning side, unfortunately. I think he's talking about, of course, the Tunisians and all that. The USAID gave hundreds of millions to the Catholic Church for immigration services. The churches have been receiving all these funds for a bunch of things, They need to explain to us.
the churches and all those Jewish supposed to all them Jewish NGOs.
And also, Sijiba says, what gets me is Congress approved this spending. They don't read these spending bills because they're all
All
on the
involved, all on
mm-hmm,
the take, all getting kickback. Exactly right.
John Mosquito says Nigerians, I thought they were the giants of Africa. I tell you, man, we need to ask Burna Boy. That is his album, African Giant.
You you had some moron. You had some moron. You Nigerians are stupid. That's why you're gonna constantly be made jokes of. You had some moron said, the Super Bowl would have been better with Burner Boy. Hey, moron, it wouldn't have been. You're not our culture. We don't give a fuck about Burner Boy. The world does. We would turn that. We would say, "Hey, what you doing with this Nigerian nigga up in here?" No, he would never been. He would never been doing no Super Bowl, dummy. You Nigerians are like fucking stupid or something. We're not doing your sports, and you got no black Americans doing none of your sports events, and we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to do none of your soccer events in Nigeria. You wouldn't know who the hell we are. You think most of the people in America still know who Burna Boy are? They don't. They don't know Burna Boy. I'm gonna hurt your feelings, Nigerians. Most black Americans don't know who the fuck Burna Boy is and don't give a shit about it. Okay? I'm be honest with you. He's a global sensation to you. That's why he couldn't sell out even in South Africa. He had to cancel his concert because the South Africans wasn't checking for his ass. But I bet you $1 million if Kendrick Lamar went to South Africa, he would sell out. So please shut up. Stop pretending that you're bigger than you are. You're not. You tried to do that concert like Chris Brown, and no one said, "Nah, we're not paying for no Burna Boy." That was in South Africa on the continent, and you had to cancel that shit because the South Africans said, "Nah, we're not paying for none of that shit. Go, he can come. We're not gonna show up." So no, you wouldn't have did better. So please, you can't even sell out on your own goddamn continent. Maybe in Kenya, but not in South Africa. You can't. So that shit was crap. Like, what, these motherfuckers is crazy. You Nigerians are like delusional. Fix your country first. Don't worry about music. Fix the economy, morons. Don't worry about Burna Boy, who ain't got shit to do with why you living in poverty. They've been doing it to you. So understand. Understand.
As we continue, I also see Byron in the building. Well, shout out to Nigerians. They believe they are who they are. I also see Jibajaba saying,
Hey, shout out to their delusional ass. I think Kendrick Lamar did right, but I think Burna Boy would have been better. And dude, Burna Boy, listen, moron. The white people damn sure don't know who Burna Boy is. We in a white majority country, so they don't know who the fuck Burna Boy was in. Most white people didn't even know what Kendrick Lamar was, so they're not gonna know. And he's their nigga. They don't know your nigga. Okay? You might think because he's known in Nigeria. White people don't know Burna Boy in America. They don't know what the fuck that is. They don't know that nigga. So he would never be doing any Super Bowl. Ever. Okay? Ever. That's why you'll never see even as Joe becomes the Anna Piano. You won't see Tyler at no Super Bowl. Ever. Okay? White people don't know those people, so calm down. Go ahead, Joe.
But I also see Sanken on asking, why do you all call him Good Luck? That is his name. It was his name, President Good Luck Jonathan. That was his name.
That was actually his name. His name was Good Luck.
Yeah.
Good Luck Jonathan. Because that was his family were highly Christian. So they come from like Christian shit. Good Luck Jonathan. And so they removed him because he refused to be their puppet. And so they put Bahari in. That's why Obama was saying all that. Just make sure you be quiet. Don't be violent. Because they knew he stole it. You niggas don't be violent. Remember, don't be violent. That's what they always tell you. Why they the most violent motherfuckers on the planet? Sponsoring violence. Sponsoring Boko Haram. I told people I said, It's been some years ago since Al Shabaab came into Kenya. I think they blew up that when they blew up that mall. At first, I think it was like 2016, 2017, and Spikes was asking, "You think America did it?" I said, "Listen, there, dummy. Boko Haram is not no real terrorist group, but Al Shabaab is not a real terrorist group. That's made up. That's the white man bombing Kenya for doing some shit they told him not to do, and then just send a message. There's no Al Shabaab that got no money come from Somalia, and then Al Shabaab is now all the way down in Mozambique. How's Al Shabaab all the way down in Mozambique when they were supposed to be in Kenya fucking shit up? How did these Al Shabaabs without no airplanes go all the way through Kenya with weapons and go through Tanzania and then go to northern Mozambique? Because you guys don't know Mozambique borders southern Tanzania. So that's where these Al Shabaabs are now killing people where all the minerals at. How'd they get there? How does Al Shabaab, who ain't never been in Mozambique, now fucking around in Mozambique, causing jihad? The white man.
Magically appearing.
Yeah, magically. Shelby can't even get across the border with a little cell phone and a purse. Where you going? Who you going to see? What you doing here?
I'm gonna be finished by the lions by the time I'm getting to that border. Literally, the lions are gonna finish me alive by the time I'm walking to that border. Like where? Where? It's crazy. My family, we're up in the top right there. Shout out to you, Sister Michelle. Nice to see you this morning. You're doing great. Shout out to Naski was here in the building earlier, and Trevor has been with me from the beginning towards the end of this amazing episode of today. See you guys later, of course.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Hey, where are you guys, except for the second one? Has anybody been in this massive cold spell now that just came? What's the weather up there, Jibba Jabba, in Pennsylvania? I was in southwest Texas. It was warm. It's cold as fuck now. And they said it's going to be a major cold spell. I didn't know nothing about. It's cold as shit. I was like, what happened? I said, man, I'm going to deal with this cold again. What's the temperature, man? Where you at?
But yeah, much love, family.
10 degrees is more okay. It's freezing. 10 degrees, yeah. It's like 15 degrees in here in Texas. I'm like, man, I'm tired of this cold shit. Tired of winter. Good, Joe. Goodbye. What you really are, baby girl, you always